My policy, my plan is for a United States Department of Children and Youth, because unfortunately we have children in the United States who are traumatized before they even get to preschool. So we can talk about reforming K through 12, but we have to deal with the fact that there are 13 million food insecure children in the United States. It's so much bigger than reforming education. Even that is an old-fashioned conversation. It's a 20th century conversation. What are we talking about? We have millions of American children who go to school every day and ask their elementary school teachers if maybe they have some food. We have elementary school children on suicide watch. Now, we need to unleash the spirit of the American people. You can't do that without unleashing the spirit of the American child, and we can't unleash the spirit of the American child without unleashing the spirit of the American teacher. So let's get rid of these high-stakes standardized tests. I do believe that they were introduced with some good intention by many people. They're an utter failure. They have limited rather than expanded our educational opportunities among our children. William Butler Yeats said education should not be the filling of a pail, it should be the lighting of a fire. And so the art of teaching should be returned to the classroom. And I want every classroom in America to be a palace of learning and culture and the arts. We are the only advanced democracy in the world that bases our educational funding on property taxes. So this is outrageous. What it means then is that if a child is brought up in a fairly economically advantaged home, then that child has every opportunity and probability of a very high quality public school education. But if that child didn't, then that child is likely to be among the millions of American children who go to schools in classrooms that don't even have the adequate school supplies with which to teach a child to read. If a child cannot learn to read by the age of 8, the chances of high school graduation are drastically diminished, and the chances of incarceration are drastically increased. We also have children in the United States, millions of them, growing up in what's called America's domestic war zones. So these children have, according to psychologists, a level of PTSD that is no less severe than that of a returning veteran from Afghanistan or Iraq. So we need far more social workers, far more mental health professionals, non-pharmaceutical, mental health professionals working throughout our school. Another thing that very much concerns me, in addition to the fact that I want the federal government to mandate that there is a quality of education for every school. In some states, they can't afford it. The federal government should help. Some states, they have the money and they don't want to. That's not okay. To me, it's a civil rights issue. How can you say that a child is free to pursue happiness if that child is trapped, not even knowing how to read by the age of 8 years old? In addition to that, I want to make sure that more Americans grow up learning history. You know, we have 11 states in this country that don't even require half a year of American civics and government and politics. I think that has been a large part of what has led us to where we are. If you don't know as a child what the Bill of Rights is, then you don't know as an adult to be appalled when it is under assault. There is more than, there are 10 amendments there, not just the second one. So to me, there needs to be a guarantee that every American child grows up learning the basics of U.S. governance and civics.